So before we go too far into AI, we might as well learn the basic concepts, terminologies, jargon. Remember, I'm not an AI expert and I'm not trying to be, but I must learn enough about it so that I can use it, and especially when it's imposed on me. Just as I turned on this short, it gave me an option of using AI to fill the background, which is a new thing that just came up today, for example. Okay, so artificial intelligence is basically defined as a task that is so complicated, sophisticated that a person or a group of people cannot do it or cannot do it fast enough. And that's where we use machine and its abilities to look at the data and come up with patterns, solutions, etc. Machine learning is where you give it lots of data and it learns without telling it any rules. You are giving it weather and climate data, but you are not saying there are Newton's laws of motion and so on. There are convolutional neural networks in general, which uses the brain map, how neurons connect to various things and talk to each other, and that's how you would analyze lots of data, arrange them together and see how neurons can connect them. And you have multiple layers of them. They are called convolutional networks. And then there are foundation models, which means you give it lots of data, let's say weather with pollution and with aerosols and maybe some biology, and it learns everything, and you don't train it in everything, but it knows how to do things that you didn't train it for. And there are large language processing, large language models. There are self-supervised models or unsupervised models. It just depends on when you give it data, whether the data is labeled to say what it is, and you are giving it a hint as to what to look for. And there are normal things like image processing, where you give it data of an image and it knows how to identify people or how they would move. It predicts where the person would go next, and lots of details. So this is from Jeff Bezos Earth Foundation, Columbia University, Esri, and so on. They had a workshop on AI landscape for weather and climate. So I'm going to go through that report and make a few podcasts because that's very useful for us. So look at this podcast with the brief introduction to AI, ML, deep learning, convolutional networks, self-learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, self-supervised learning, and so on. Okay, see you.